What it could be, hopefully this is what it should be. This is your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, is DJ EFN?
And this is Drink Champs, Yappy Hour, Drink Champs, Quarantine, Drink Champs.
Quarantine Champs.
Social distance. And we are in the building right now. One of my favorite people in the world. I feel like I watch him almost every day. From the college days up into the NBA days. He's one of the guys that transitioned. He transitioned like us. Like we from a great dope basketball player and then transitioned to media, but he kept the same attitude that he was on the court. And in case y'all people don't know who I'm talking about, the integrity of my man right here, Jalen Rose.
Hey! Thank you, family. I appreciate the love.
Yes.
I'm grateful to be on. And just so you guys know, as somebody that's been in the podcast game 10 years, and Jalen and Jacoby is now on ESPN Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. And for us to come up via radio, doing a pod once a week, doing a pod 5 times a week, I always watch people that's in the game that's doing their thing. And congratulations, y'all did the same thing. Y'all on TV doing y'all thing. On REVOLT, I'll be checking y'all out. I'll be checking y'all out on YouTube. So congratulations. Cheers.
Thank you. But the one thing I didn't know you guys started out as a podcast. I just learned that just now.
Absolutely.
I always watched you on TV. I skipped y'all grind and went straight to y'all.
Yeah, we sold out now. But N.O.R.E.
Y'all leveled up.
Yeah, it wasn't even in our contract. Like, it was a passion project. And our show used to be called The Rose Report. I pitched the idea to Bill Simmons about me doing the podcast. I was already doing the NBA coverage and talking about the other sports on ESPN. So when they started Grantland, I started doing the Rose Report podcast, and I was doing it with Jacoby, but he wasn't listed on the show. And it was like Run DMC and Salt and Pepper. I hated they didn't acknowledge Jam Master Jay and Salt and Pepper or Spinderella. Like, they should be in the title. So I'm like, it's 2 of us doing the show. He should be in the title. And then all of a sudden it just grew and grew and grew. It became a radio show, a late night show, an hour show, a 30-minute show on ESPN2. Now we graduated. And I'm wearing Givenchy. You know what I mean? I'm wearing my Detroit Buffs because we on ESPN now.
And even Mike Tyson bigged y'all up.
Yeah, that was love. Actually, I got a chance to see Mike. We were at the Fury Wilder fight.
Wow.
And I went to the NBA in 94. So this is when Mike was at his height. So I was at all of the Mike fights.
Wow.
I seen at least 15 Mike fights up close and personal. I went to Mike's house multiple times. He had the livestock. He had the birds. He had the court. He had the tennis court. He had the crazy large movie screen outside. Like, Mike was that deal. And I know people see him now, and I'm happy he got a chance to reinvent himself. But Mike is that heavyweight champion. And if, other than Ali, if I had to say who's the baddest dude, it's Mike Tyson, no doubt about it.
Now I gotta ask you, what do you feel about, Mike is looking vicious right now. He's looking just as vicious as he was in Brownsville. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he in retro
downright scary looking right now.
So what do you think about this upcoming fight? Because is there a league like, Ice Cube? Let's big up to Ice Cube. Ice Cube have
like the Big Three
league where a person can live after basketball. It's like life after basketball, right? Like I kind of feel like that's what Drink Champs is, and the versus things is like kind of life after rap. But you think there's a league that could exist, like life after boxing or something like that?
Don't sleep. Boxers quietly never retire because they advertise themselves. They're independent contractors. So really, if they want to get in the ring and do it, think about it. They're doing fights right now in the UFC during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, Top Rank is like, we about to do some fights in June. Like, so if you want to get in that ring and go toe to toe, you have the chance to do so. And don't be surprised if Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield do a fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That'd be insane.
Don't be surprised. As somebody that was at the fight, I was at multiple Mike fights. In particular, I was at the fight when he bit Evander Holyfield's ear. And it was crazy. It was like a mob scene. People was throwing stuff. People was mad because, people be betting People be going to Vegas, saving up, trying to have a good time, that type of thing. So but to see those two guys reinvent themselves and get back in the ring and real deal Holyfield, I'm paying to watch that.
Right.
I'm paying to watch that.
I'm paying to watch that as well. So let's bounce around a little bit, right? Let's take it from the Fab Five days, right? Are you from Detroit? You from Detroit, correct?
So I got to make sure, as a fan of the show, are you smoking something?
Oh, yeah,
are y'all drinking something? Is
I'm drinking.
In the room?
I'm drinking. I can show you. I got
for Disney and
we got
all.
stuff over here.
I'm on Drink Champs right now.
Yeah. And no, we also got Drink Champs Sports here. He got questions too. Just
okay, yeah. I'll pause in the building. Tell Paul I said what's up.
He's right there.
Just so you know, N.O.R.E, I had a spot in Miami when New York started to infiltrate. Fat Joe, Puff, Q, BMF. I was down there.
Right.
That was the early 90s for sure.
When you was on the charts, #1 album,
That's right, goddammit. That's right, goddammit. That's right, goddammit.
I watched the show, and what ends up happening is I know they clown you and they sleep on what you accomplished and all of that because Jacoby do that to me. That's what make y'all show great.
Exactly.
Y'all clown one another.
Exactly. Right.
So y'all know y'all got to give N.O.R.E his flowers while he here.
That's right. That's right. But
you know what I'm saying?
Because since I haven't watched college basketball from UNLV days, the Fab Five days, and I can't really tell you that Zion made me watch it. I'm no disrespect to Zion, but it wasn't enough. To me, college in those days, when it's the Fab Five and the UNLV, it almost felt better than the NBA. You ever think those days are going to be recreated?
They won't. And here's why. Because at that time, the best players from high school didn't go to the NBA, didn't go to the G League, didn't go overseas. Mm-hmm. They went to college. Mm-hmm. And the best teams had juniors and seniors. The squad you talking about, UNLV, I idolized them. Mm-hmm. Okay? They came to check out one of my games in Detroit when they came to play at the Palace.
Wow.
Anderson Hunt, their Final Four MVP, went to my high school, Detroit Southwestern.
Wow.
Okay. His daughter, by the way, graduated from Jalen Rose Leadership Academy.
Wow.
Just to bring it full circle. So LJ Goldtooth, I had that in my mouth. Part down the middle of my head, like Kenny Anderson and LJ, I had that.
Right.
Lanky like Stacey Augman, slashing to the hoops. I was trying to do that. That was my squad.
Right.
And I never knew, watching them beat Duke and then lose to Duke, that I would be playing against Duke the next year in the finals.
Right.
I was in Anderson Hunt's basement, Southwest Detroit, watching the game with all UNLV gear on, shorts down to my knees.
Wow.
So I knew that was going to have to happen when I got to college.
Right.
And they lost. And we played them the next year. That was crazy.
Right. So you think college will? You said you can't. You answered that. You're right. You said they
no. They had juniors and seniors, man.
And
juniors and seniors.
What do you think about them offering them to play players now? Them. I'm not sure what the exact story is, but they're saying that they're going to let players get off of their jersey or something like that, make money off of their jersey.
Yeah. So Biggie.
In college, you talking about?
Yeah, college. Yeah.
So I think I got to do this public service announcement. Mm-hmm. And Biggie said it: either you slang crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot, right? Mm-hmm. And so I know a lot of people in and outside of our community make us feel like our ability to play sports or rap or entertain and get a check when we're 17, 18, 19 is going to last us forever. It won't. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate the opportunities that the G League going to provide. And if you don't want to go to college, and that's not for you, you should be able to make a living off your likeness and off yourself.
Yeah, monetize it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not act like when you get $500,000 and Uncle Sam take half, that's $250,000, and then your agent take $15,000, $20,000, and then endorsements they taking $20,000, and then you paying $15,000, $20,000 in insurance. Let's not act like that's like $180,000.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's better than nothing, but it's
that's better. That ain't forever though.
Right.
That ain't like so. If you can go from high school like Kobe, KG, LeBron, that's the goal.
Right.
Nobody's in the backyard counting down after they watch their favorite players and watching The Last Dance and like, yeah, I'm about to make the game-winning shot, my dad. Right. 3, 2, 1. G League. Right. Ain't nobody saying that.
Right. So when you're playing for a college team, is there anybody who goals get ruined right there? Like, you know, because there's certain people that you know is going to go to the NBA, and there's certain people that you know just ain't, but they're a great role player on a college team. Is that something that player is established to know, or that's something that happens at the end of the year?
So the good thing about sports is if you work hard, have a good attitude, and you create a lane for yourself, especially team sports, that gives you a chance to make it. Like that gives you a chance to make it. So you can be a guy, you don't have to be like the star on your high school team or even your college team. In the league, they have role players.
Right.
That exist. So that's why it's important to like not do other bad decisions to mess up your name because then you can't get on.
Right.
But if you like have a good attitude and have good skill and you play on a team, there's we talking about Scott Burrell right now from The Last Dance. He probably done made more money doing interviews and endorsements since that started than he made playing for that team. He played with MJ for 1 year.
Right. And who's that, the coach? Who's
a gentleman named Scott Burrell, who they showed him.
The general manager?
No, he's a player on the team that they were showing MJ was kind of, giving them crap the entire time. Like the GOAT should be giving somebody stuff.
That was literally my next question. Was like, you didn't go against like the whack MJ. Like there's no whack MJ, by the way. Excuse me, sorry, but like the less like after he came back from baseball, he was a different guy. You went against
like the prime.
You went against the guy that was talking shit. You went against the guy like y'all had a squad. Like you, damn near Hall of Fame. Everybody damn near. How was it competing with that man? Is it really like the documentary made it to be, or did they exaggerate, or did they underplay?
So I know you got smart, and when you got all that money, you was like, you know what? I'm going to Florida. I'm gonna save on taxes. I'm gonna get more bang for my buck. You was like you was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I love New York, but I ain't trying to pay $1 million for 1,000 square feet, right?
Right.
So like. MJ ended up being like the best in so many categories that it made it unfair. Right. So if you think about it, like he was the quickest, he was the most athletic, he was the best salesman and pitchman. How about this? He played basketball with his tongue out.
Right.
Like just think about that. I can't walk to the corner with my tongue out.
Right.
Like he navigated through traffic with the ball in one hand, his toes pointing opposite directions. Like that's insane.
Right.
How about the killer instinct and the ability to be like stone-faced assassin that I learned from the Lakers, I learned from the Celtics, I learned from the Pistons. Right. And I'm about to apply all of that.
Right.
Did it. He had 2 3-peats, and playing against that dude, it was like, man. It's like you see. It's like seeing like Larry Bird said it. Like that's God playing basketball.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds intimidating.
That's for real. Like that's for real, fam. Like how many? Let me ask you this.
Right.
You've been in the booth with some of the best. You've been on some of the dopest posse cuts. Right. You've been in one of the dopest historic groups of all time.
Yeah.
But how many times did you go on stage and then somebody else went on stage and you was like, yo.
Yeah. DMX, Jay Z, Nah.
Right?
It's always like that. I mean, I got a chance to do shows with them all. You know what I mean? But still in all, even on the stage, it's really not as competitive as the basketball court is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, is this something that you want to train harder to bust his ass, or you just want to be in the building with him? Like, what happens?
A few things. You gotta stop yourself from being a fan.
Right.
Like, if you're gonna be competitive at all, like, don't wear the shoes. Don't you can't be a fan at all.
Right. That sounds like something that everybody needs to listen to for everything.
Like the game was different then. Physical intimidation existed. Rivalries existed. Right. I'm from Detroit. I'm a Bad Boys fan. I rooted against MJ his entire career.
Yes.
In Indiana, we booed MJ, played against him in the playoffs. So, like, you can't be a fan at all.
Right.
Or you don't have a chance.
Right.
So going into any sporting event, there's a favorite, there's an underdog, and we knew that they were the favorite. We knew that he was the GOAT, but we also knew, like, wait a minute, we played them 10 times this year, and we 5-5.
Oh, it's 5-5. Okay.
5.
Okay.
Okay. So we got a chance to upset them. Everybody think that he about to come in and shine and do what he do, but we about to shock the world.
Right.
That's how you feel. And going against those all-time greats, like you were just saying, like those all-time great artists, when they decide to just, like, go to that other level, there's just nothing you can do about it. And that's kind of what it was when MJ was going for his chips.
Do you, when you're playing at that time, do you feel that you're living history? Does it feel like that?
Why y'all not smoking and drinking? No. I feel deprived of the experience.
Are you drinking?
Hold on. I'm about to drink. Come on, pop it down.
Deprived of the experience. You should be smoking the air the entire time. We talked about this when I saw you in Miami. We was at an undisclosed location. We were supposed to do this. Where the champagne at?
Champagne right here.
There we go. The Ace of Spades. There we go.
Look, he brought out Mr. Lee for you. That's big.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, open that up. So what were we saying? My bad.
No, but I asked him, did you know, did it feel like you were living history in those games?
Because it's always bigger when the GOATs are involved. So it's like more cameras, more hype. Your family knows, your friends know, the league knows, other players know. Like, everybody's watching. That's center stage. Everybody understand that this is going down right now. And you got a chance to do something special. And a young pup like me, it's so many Hall of Famers at that point in my career. They had Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc. We had Reggie Miller, Mark Jackson, Chris Mullin, Larry Bird. No question. Stand up. And I'm just a young pup. And I remember making a jump shot. They showed it in the documentary. I didn't even know. I'm watching it. I was like, yo, about to spill the bottle. I'm like, yo, they showed me make a basket. I was like, yo, I was surprised. You know what I'm saying? That put us up in the fourth quarter. I was like, we about to do this. And then all of a sudden, Mike put on that cape. He took it to another level.
Hey, listen, Jalen, as a Knicks fan, born and raised, I got to say that I might have hated the Indiana Pacers just as much as I hated the Bulls. Because I just got to be honest. We would get somewhere and we would feel great. And we didn't have no pussies on the Knicks neither at this time. We had gangsters. We was trying to be the new Bad Boys, but it never worked out for us. So I just want to tell you, on behalf of all the New York Knicks fans, you hurt my feelings a couple of times, brother.
Thank you, family. I appreciate you. And I love Spike Lee. And Reggie kicked it off with his greatness, and he scored 9 points in 8 points in 9 seconds. Right. And then I came a couple of years after that. And you right, y'all had some animals on the team. Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley. By the way, for those that people don't know, Charles Oakley is so great with his hands. Not only will he slap you, he a great chef. Yeah. That's what I love about Oakley. That's what I love about him. Y'all had Anthony Mason.
He also from Queens.
I went against Sprewell and Allen Houston when they was both. I'm talking about cornrow Sprewell. Yeah, exactly. And Allen Houston, sweet shooting, getting buckets, maximum contract. Right. Chris Childs, Charlie Ward, like you guys' squad was crazy. Yeah, and playing against y'all, Jeff Van Gundy was y'all coach. Like it was so dope. It was Hicks versus Knicks. Right. It was like, who was gonna now own the East without MJ or take over the throne. And I know you was cheering one day when MJ got that 4-point play. I know you was somewhere cheering.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest. I
got that 4-point play.
I had this rhyme since back then. I said, because Jordan used to kill us. I said, I'm from New York, but still I be hating the Knicks. And fuck Jordan, but still I be rocking his kicks. Because the kicks are so dope, and I can't lie. Nature said this back in the days, and I believe them. He said, on a rhyme, he said, he went to games as a Knicks fan. They had Strickland, they traded him, and ever since then, son, he hated them. And just like the curse of Babe Ruth, or like the curse of, we feel like the fact that Rod Strickland was a born and raised New York icon, dribbling the ball, when we traded him, this is Nature's account, and I'm starting to believe him. He said that once we traded Rod Strickland, it's been downhill for Knicks fans. I watch Stephen A. Smith. I watch, people we have given up on our franchise, Jalen. Is there anything we can do? I think we can put you on the court right now, and you might give us.
So I got to big up you and Nature, because that's exactly right. Wow. As somebody that followed the league and understood that not only was New York the capital for dropping dimes and people having handle and being slick with it, but you guys had Mark Jackson and Rod Strickland on the same team at the same time, balling. That was supposed to be Earl Monroe and Clyde Frazier. For you young punks out there that don't know. That's what that was gonna be for y'all. Right. And for them to not allow that to happen, and both of those dudes to go on and play like 40 years combined and put in so much crazy work, it's I agree with that. I agree with that.
Right. Now, have you ever thought about coaching?
I have. And like, I'm a founder of a school, and I'm fortunate enough to have multiple gigs at ESPN, NBA Countdown.
Where's the school, Jalen?
Detroit. Okay. Tuition-free, public charter, open enrollment, founded in 2011. Wow. And we're having our graduation June 6th. I'm really excited about that. We're a 9 through 16 model. We've served approximately 1,000 students. Wow. And really excited about that. So I have a lot of stuff that's keeping me busy, and I know coaching would take up more time probably than all of that to try to be good at it. Right. And so I just appreciate the gigs I have with ESPN, and being a founder of a high school right now, and influencing college kids. But you never know. But, that's crazy. But I want to be in ownership, fam. That's what I'm working on. Just so you know, I'm working on
ownership.
Ownership, yeah.
That, brother. I respect that, brother. That's what I'm talking about. And why isn't there more black ownership in the league? I watch ESPN all the time, and now they're talking about the football league, where it should be black coaches having the same opportunities. Why you don't think it's like that in both leagues, NBA, for instance, and in the NFL? Like, not just black, but women as well. Like, you know what I mean?
So it's corporate America, young people. And adults, we all know this. And when somebody works for you, and or vice versa, there's just certain lines you can or will or can't cross in order for you to get your check. And what ended up happening in sports is having a 400-year head start before black and brown people were even able to play. Whites owned the team. It's like they owned so many things in society. That's just how it works. And so what ends up happening is those teams don't come available. They get passed down from family member to family member, and it becomes something of a legacy. So you don't have to allow X amount of people that have X amount of money to buy into the team. You can just pass it down. Look at the Knicks. There was they got passed down from father to son. Look at the Lakers. They got passed down from father to daughter. That's what it's going to be. So
it's generational.
Yes, people tend to hire those that they're comfortable with and or look more like them. So the power really starts in ownership, then it trickles down to GM and president, and then you hope that it plays out with the coaches, because on the field and on the court, they're majority black players. Right. So you would think that they would have an opportunity to have a voice and have some power, in particular with people that look like them. But since it isn't happening in ownership, it doesn't trickle down. And so I'm glad the conversations are being had, but those relationships still have a long way to go.
Okay, Jalen, we got Ludacris, who's in the building right now. He's checking in. It looked like the Bahamas he had or something.
Hey, man, stop that.
You look very tropical right now, brother. You look very tropical.
What up, family?
What's going on, man? Let me first and foremost say that it's an honor. I'm actually pissed that I never got a chance to come up to the Drink Champs original set.
And this ain't replacing it, number one. This ain't replacing it.
Yeah, this ain't replacing it at all. So I definitely have to come up there. But I just want to understand that those that come before me, like the individual N.O.R.E, and that I have some DNA of, and I wouldn't be in the place that I was or be able to do a lot of the things that I did. I just want to pay homage to this man N.O.R.E and all the things he's done.
Thank you, Luda. But if you turn your phone sideways, Luda, turn it like this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, even better.
I gotta salute you, my brother, because I watched the battle, and congratulations, my brother. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You stood there with the poker face. You didn't. I love the fact that I believe one of Nelly's boys said something to you, and I love the fact that you like ignored it and stayed positive and just stayed with the poker face. Is that something that that you wanted? You did on purpose?
In terms of keeping the poker face, I mean to have a poker face. It was his internet was kind of messing up, and I think that my
between him and Teddy Riley,
right? My organic reaction was me trying to see and make sure that it didn't, fuzz up like it was doing consistently. So a lot of those memes that happened, and they was acting like I had a poker face. I was literally trying to make sure that I could see him and understand and hear everything that he was saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is a pure celebration. I like to commend every artist that participates in this. You know what I mean? Every artist that gets together, and just because at the end of the day, it should be a celebration. You know what I'm saying? The battle thing we have lived, and so what was the first? What was it?
Hold on, what's Luda drinking? We got to know what he's drinking right now.
What's that?
Correct. I'm just disappointed that everybody ain't drinking and smoking something.
Oh yeah, Uncle Nearest.
Good.
Oh, Uncle Nearest. Okay.
There's a whole story behind this Uncle Nearest. I don't know if y'all know.
No, we know.
Kenny Burns. We had Kenny Burns on the show.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, man. I went to the Uncle Nearest. I went to the whole Tennessee, did the whole tour. Man, it's life-changing when you understand that story. And I'm sure that Kenny Burns was able to relay a little bit of what was going on. But when you get a chance, because we are all fans of the best alcoholic beverages that this world has to offer, and we got a lot of history in one of our states called Tennessee, you have to go to Uncle Nearest. And if you really want the full story, you go to Jack Daniels first, and then you
that ties into the Jack Daniels, yeah.
Yeah, so that you can see the inconsistencies of some of the stories that they tell around this motherfucker, man.
I got a bottle right here. Hey, can you get the Uncle Nearest bottle?
I got a bottle. I think
might as well drink up too.
I ain't gonna lie. I think I drank my shit. So Jalen, what was you thinking? What was you thinking when you was watching the battle, Jalen?
So first off, let me tell you what's crazy. Shout to Luda. You know I love you, brother. And
thank you, man.
I appreciate just watching like both of you guys on your come up. As somebody that's a couple of years older than both of you guys, like I was telling N.O.R.E, I remember when he went from New York to Miami, running into him in a couple of places down there. And fortunate enough with Luda and being in one of his videos, graciously move and shout to Shaka. And now seeing you with the tank top on, looking like you living your best life, got a tan, like you got money in the bank. You know, it just makes me happy. And
Makes
so
me happy too.
What I was thinking when I saw him in Nelly's battle is I was lucky enough at a time where both of them guys were at their apex to be in one of their videos.
Right.
Each artist.
That's right.
Wow.
That's true.
Each artist. Hot in here for Nelly and move for Luda.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I'm thinking. So I got love and I'm grateful to both of them.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So Luda, so one thing that the fans acknowledged immediately was you wasn't playing. And what I mean by you wasn't playing, not to say Nelly was playing, but what I mean by that is you stuck to the script. Play hits only. You did not want to play like the local or the shit that's just the shit in Magic City. You didn't want to play, you know what I'm saying? Like you stuck to the hits. Was that a strategy?
Well, I think it's just like playing cards, man. It's like playing spades. It's like poker, whatever you want.
All your spades first?
Yeah, no, it was more of humbly speaking, I had so many songs. I even had so many songs, obviously, I wasn't able to play. But you kind of throw your first card out there and you see what the next card comes, and then you react from there. So it was kind of just going as it went along. I tried to figure out how I was going to compete. And I know both myself and Nelly are just competitors. I don't know if they had this photo circulating around the net from when we did Rock and Jock football like years ago together. And, it's just like, I know how competitive he is. And that's what made it so special, just understanding how competitive we were. But
did your catalog, did your catalog even surprise you as you were getting ready for this?
Man, listen, I wouldn't say my catalog surprised me, but I can honestly say that just like everyone else that was watching, it's great to hear all of the versatility and the collection of catalog all within a certain time frame, because I don't think I've ever sat with my music and listened to it in that type of, in that type of list and order, just back to back over a very small amount of time. So I was just as much of a fan, humbly speaking, as everybody else was listening to both of our catalogs.
Because honestly, right, you've had 3 careers, right, Luda? I'm talking about, I remember me going to a radio station and me meeting Chris Lover, right?
Yeah.
Me meeting Chris Lover. Then all of a sudden, you never told me you rap, and all of a sudden I see you just blow. You're a rapper. Now you had this illustrious career in movies, right? What is still your first love? Like,
so let me clarify something for you, just so that you know. And I mean, obviously, you may not have known this, but I've been rapping since I was 9. When I worked at that radio station in Atlanta, Georgia, it was all a plan and a strategic plan that obviously worked out for me going up there to try and get people to listen to my music, because I was like, it's artists and producers that come up here all the time. So when you got introduced to me, of course, I had to put on the face, and I was acting as though I wanted to be a DJ, but what I was really doing was rapping. So
hustling.
To answer your question, my first love is and will always be music. Always. Because there's nothing that touches my soul more than music. And I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. This is serious business. I love Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I love Vin Diesel. I know niggas that's making hundreds and millions of dollars.
Movies.
There's no person on earth that doesn't envy the freedom that us artists have. And what I mean by that is, when you're a part of a movie, nigga, you only playing one part. Unless you're the producer, the director, the motherfucking like everything, you're a part of one piece of the puzzle. When you an artist, nigga, you it's a blank page, it's a blank canvas. You paint what you want on that motherfucker. You have complete control and freedom. There's no other job in this world that allows you to do that except for like a painter or some shit. Period.
Hey, hold on. Can I piggyback off of my brother?
Yeah.
That's one of the things about being an athlete that I always envied about artists. because we're required to be role models per se by society.
And required to take drug tests.
Correct.
As well.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're required, like, we get judged if we didn't graduate from high school or don't go to college. We get judged if, like, we get in trouble or we have a hustling background or if we drink or smoke. It's something like, oh my God, it makes you a bad person.
That was my next
society's eyes. I always appreciate the freedom of an artist.
How many athletes live in LA and where the state is actually legal, and in Colorado where it's legal, and places like that, Boston even, and you think they're gonna still chess people?
It's just the hypocrisy. How people deal with weed and medicinal is like how the NCAA used to deal with violations. Like, it used to be like a big thing. Like, oh my God, such and such had the nerve to take some money for a plane ticket. Now people know how much money is in the game. Like, they should be getting paid.
Right.
And it's the exact same thing over here. And it doesn't become a big deal because everybody know that's just kind of how the game goes.
Right.
Yo, and to add to that as an artist, and I'm sure N.O.R.E can attest to this, I think we live long, and I think that the reason that we are able, even with all of our internal issues, and we have problems like everybody else, but the equivalent of going and sitting with a damn, a therapist or something like that, nigga, when we do shows, it doesn't matter what we talk about in our music. It's therapy because we have thousands of people literally saying the same things that we're saying, and we know that they're feeling our music and feeling what's coming from our heart. So that's what balances us out in terms of all of the damn, all the the problems that we have. It just completely gets unleashed when we do these live shows, and we give it up. It doesn't stay within, and that helps.
With that being said, Luda, with this pandemic going on, you think it's a threat to us? Because, even sports is saying, that they thinking about continuing, but they thinking about continuing or doing certain sports with just no fans there. What happens if Luda actually has to do a tour with no fans? Does that take away everything from you, or what does that put you in?
Absolutely, man. It would never be the same if I did a damn concert or a show with no fans, man. They are the
based
breath.
on what you just said. Just on what you just said about the energy and the feedback from the audience, that's going to take all that away.
Absolutely. They're the breath, man. It's a reciprocation. That's what's going on. You're feeding off the energy of the crowd. I can't necessarily speak for everybody, but individuals like myself, like Buster, motherfuckers who really give everything that they got on that stage, so that anyone that paid a certain amount of money is knowing that they left that motherfucker with their money's worth and then some. There's no way it'll be the same if the crowd is not there. Ever.
Wow.
Same question to you, Jalen. How would you feel if sports continues and is with the no fan rule?
So, wow, I'm glad I got a chance to hear Luda say that. And as somebody that's gone to so many shows, he made me look at it in a different light, because the difference is sporting events can also be television events. Concerts, you want to entertain the people that are present. And so we can still do a game, like UFC is still doing fights, and like they can fake the crowd noise and they can do all of that stuff and make it look like a television event. And the players can still play the game. But like Luda said, without the fans in the stands and you being able to hear what they say and hear what the coaches say, hear what the refs say, it's not gonna be the same without the fans. Like, you're gonna see some bizarre stuff happening, some crazy upsets, and like learning things that you didn't really know about the game, which may be good without the fans. The fans are the heartbeat. I agree.
Nigga, the pandemonium is our peace.
Right.
Yes.
Let me ask you, Luda,
organized confusion.
Luda, did you watch the other battles prior to getting into the battle?
Man, I watched every single one of them. I was a fan from day one for numerous reasons. So that's part of the reason I'm so glad I got a chance to do it. I love that shit, man.
Right. Okay, all right. So now
Will they be doing? Wait, would y'all think they'll be doing rematches?
Do I think they'll be doing rematch? I don't know.
Or should people who would you would you battle somebody else now after that experience?
I hadn't even thought that far ahead, bro, because I'm like probably the fifth battle that happened on this platform.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all new. So
yeah, it's weird because I think there is something to say for you going and releasing and like letting people hear your records, and then if you go again, it may not have the same impact. When you play some of those records. I think that's part of the reason that it's so dope to do it. So, I would have to, that opportunity would have to present itself for me to really give it an honest, consideration.
Like, there's people who just know me from Drink Champs. For some reason, they don't know nothing about my music career. They don't know nothing. Have you ever faced that, Luda? Where you
Nigga, I got like 4 names in these streets, motherfucker. you got Ludacris. You got Tej from Fast and Furious. There's the guy that was on the song with Justin Bieber. Man, I got so many goddamn names, bro. It's ridiculous. But that's a blessing, though, N.O.R.E. That means you made a motherfucking statement and you impacted the world majorly on more than one thing. Don't take that as a compliment.
And also what that is, N.O.R.E. and Luda, that shows that you a vet, you an OG and reinvented yourself.
Yeah, but hold on.
All of the dudes.
I gotta ask you the same question because you got like 4 of them too. so
I'm so fortunate that like my mother created a name that's now common. Like my biological father name was James. My uncle Leonard took her to the hospital. She combined those names and made Jalen, and now it's everywhere. Like, I'm doing the draft, I'm watching the NFL. Like, it's a common name now,
right?
And it's crazy.
You from
Detroit. Correct, right? I'm like just here from the west side of Detroit. But what I want to tell you guys, the reason why you can have so many different names and likenesses and stuff is because all of the OGs that have staying power reinvent themselves. Like, how many names have Jay had? How many names have Puff had? Because you're around so long, they become tags, they become handles. They almost like when you had a beeper, it become like your code. And then you move on from it when a new device comes. That's what y'all been able to do.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give y'all both questions as a fan. The other day, DMX came over. We chilling. I have no idea what's happening. Swiss actually calls DMX.
I got to tell you something.
Swiss calls DMX. In true DMX fashion, he picks up. We're playing Jingle. I have never played Jingle before, but DMX is
Jenga, right? Isn't it?
Jenga, what is it? Whatever that shit is. Jenga, whatever that shit is.
Yeah.
I'm playing that. So, X is a dorm room guy. Like he that's a dorm room shit, right? So I said, fuck it, I'm doing it. Swiss calls him 3 minutes before this. Swiss says, yo, Eminem wants to battle. X says, well, whatever. Tell him I'm down. And then he goes, but then X says, but I really want Jay, right? Swiss said he's not coming outside. X says he doesn't have to come outside. He can play it from the room, right? I'm not sure if X understood the terminology, like coming outside, but it was hilarious. It was hilarious, right? We all laughed. What do you guys think? Like, I'm sure both of you guys, everyone has to love DMX. Like, DMX is just one of those artists we just all love. But Jalen, I got to start with you because you're from Detroit, so you might have. I know that Eminem blood is running through you as well. When you heard about this battle, what did you think? And what did you like? Go ahead.
So I did something with The Last Dance with Swiss Sunday night.
Okay.
And I'm glad I'm with both of you guys because he gave me a few battles that I want to ask you guys' opinions. First off, when somebody calls out somebody else, usually they beef up, not down. Is that fair? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They always call out somebody that they definitely know that people may see as they're equal or better.
I respect that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I was with Swiss, he said DMX and Busta Rhymes. That's what he said. He didn't say Eminem. What do you guys think about that? Because I think, well, first off, DMX has so many great records for a period of time. People sleep on like he like Luda in this. Like when you start, like I was watching the Nelly thing with Luda, I was like, Luda got a lot of #1 records. You know what I'm saying? And that's about what I think about DMX. And both of y'all was on Def Jam. So what do you guys think about
all of us
that?
was on Def Jam?
Right, yeah, all of y'all on Def Jam, right?
Yep. Except Eminem. Even Jay. Me, Luda, Jay, and DMX.
But he's affiliated through Paul being the president of Def Jam at one point.
Damn, that's true too. Goddamn. But
is he still the president?
He's not the president no more.
Right.
I just think they different weight classes.
Okay.
Weight classes.
Okay. How about you, Luda?
Man, you know what's crazy, man? First and foremost, legit, what you said about DMX, man, that's actually one of my guys, man. I love DMX's spirit.
He's anointed. To me, he's anointed. It's like when he comes around, I know that Jesus is there around too. Like, I'm so sorry to say that. Like, but Jesus comes with him, bro. Like
it doesn't.
And when you're done later, I got a DMX story too. Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead, legend.
No, it doesn't get much realer. It doesn't get much realer in terms of just pure. He says exactly what the fuck he means. You could just he's till this day just one of the realest. I mean, I'm trying to find a whole bag of words, but you know, I would have to hear more names in order for me. When you said Eminem versus DMX, and when you said Jay-Z versus DMX, I like those. I don't know if I love them. I want to hear more names so that I could feel like, oh, okay. To me personally, in my opinion, I think there might be a better matchup of just personalities, or you know, trying to match up lyrics or how certain people's tones are and what they, you know, like that's what I'm trying to do. I don't really see those as being phenomenal battles, but I could be wrong. And that's what I love so much about these verses is that some people, it starts really making you think. It really, really provokes a lot of thought. But my initial reaction to both of those, I don't like them.
Right. DMX said Jay-Z here with us.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's unfinished business in his mind.
Right.
Like it's a continuation of their already ongoing battling.
Yeah,
but we all got to relax on that one. It's not happening.
I'm just saying, but that's why it's to him. It's a given. Like that's
in his mind. He still thinks
it's unfinished business.
Yes.
Got you. Yeah, you know what's crazy is that there are certain artists that they can't have 20 records. These niggas got to have like 40. Let's just be honest. Some got to have the 30. Some got to have the 40, and it's only like about 5 to 6 artists who can actually do that shit. Let's be real. Like, let's just say if Drake were to ever do a battle, if Jay-Z were to do a battle, 20 is like nothing to these motherfuckers.
Dre and Puff as well.
Nigga, for real. Exactly. Dre, Puff. Think about it, man. This is some real big talk. We talking some real shit. So when you talk about, you just, DJ EFN, you just said, would I ever do it again? The fact that there may not be rematches and all this shit, you got to put the best matches possible together the first fucking time so that you don't have any resentments or regrets of why did they put these two motherfuckers together? It didn't even make sense.
That's real.
You know what I loved about you and Nelly on both. When y'all got back into fan mode, like when you saluted Nas for being on that record, when Nelly saluted, talked about his days in New York, because I remember where he got the Air Force Ones from. You know what I mean? Like he was hanging out with us in Penalty Records.
Yeah.
But
he said that too.
Guys, I love the fact that you guys don't forget the essence of, I don't want to say the essence of hip hop, but the essence of how things started, and you guys pay that homage. But in particular, that one moment when you spoke about the Nas record, and when you spoke about how you was honored to be on the record, how did you even get that call? How did that even come about?
Man, Nas has been gone on record saying before that I was one of his favorite rappers, man, and I still to this day, it's surreal for me to hear that, and it was the biggest compliment in the world. And I got that call to get on that record, and immediately I was like, "Where that?"
Yeah, who called? Def Jam or Nas himself?
Nas made the call. Right. Yeah, for sure.
Dope.
And, Nas and Shaka, my manager, have been cool for a minute as well, because Shaka used to work at the label with Nas. So it was always family. And then me and him are Virgo, so our personalities, like, off camera are
Virgo too, nigga. I'm a Virgo too, nigga.
Yeah. That record, I was so glad I was able to play that record, because that shit right there made so much impact from me in terms of the respect that I got holding my own with two hip-hop heavyweights that everybody else respected. And from there on out, it was like, okay, Luda he's down south, real, respected lyricism, all that. Rapper.
That part right there is the part that people never know. Like people, like, you understand? Like sometimes you feel like when you get to a certain level that, you know what, it's like, fuck it, I'm just doing me. When the fact that you can, we can it's all humbling moments. You know what I'm saying? Where we can still humble ourselves and say, what? I got a chance to be on that. That is what makes people great motherfucking phenomenal.
You ain't never lied, man. Ever. That shit is crazy. Crazy. And I just love that memory. Having those memories, coming to New York, man. I have a funny ass tunnel story to tell whenever we're ready to, but I'll try and make it quick. Get to the tunnel,
and we're gonna get to your diary. So, but Jalen, you said you want a story with DMX. You got a story?
Well, yeah, a couple of things. One, like, and watching Luda and Nelly battle, I just wanted to salute the Midwest and Atlanta and the South, just watching how, you know, we started to get acknowledged in the game of hip hop. Like, that took a long time. And
say that again, Jalen. I'm sorry.
The respect for the Midwest,
the South, the Midwest,
and the South in hip hop, that took a long time. But somebody that was born in '73, like I know about the Cold Crush and the Funky 4+1, and remember Run DMC and the Message, and I know about it, all of that, and I wondered when it was going to ever happen, being from Detroit. Like Motown, we celebrate all music, all genres, rock, you know, Berry Gordy had Motown, like that type of thing. So for it to happen with rap was dope. My DMX story is playing for the Bulls, family with the Locks, shout to Jada Styles and Chic. They were in town. They were about to do a show. I think it was House of Blues. We was at the spot doing what N.O.R.E do on his show all of the time. And they was about to go perform. We got the cars outside. Everybody was looking for X. X was going to do what X do. We was following behind one another. X wasn't ready when it was time for the show to start. And all I know, one of my favorite moments, Luda and N.O.R.E in hip hop, I'm standing on the stage doing X ad-libs.
Oh.
Hold up.
Yeah. Wow.
And I knew every record and didn't mess up once. And he came, I straight gave him the mic. I ain't mess up once.
That's dope. Real talk. Now that's a memory. It's not too many people that get to do some of their favorite rappers' ad-libs in life, period.
So dope. And also Luda, if you don't mind, N.O.R.E, I want to ask Luda a question. So you followed in X footsteps, being a dope MC, creating bars on your records, but also you a great actor, and you've been in like some great, you know, films. So what about like that transition?
Man, the transition started when John Singleton, may he rest in power, man. He asked me to be in Too Fast, Too Furious, and I had to try out for it. But I was on tour with Eminem at the time, and it was like they needed it ASAP. So I was backstage.
Yeah, that's crazy. Stunning.
You just can't say that. Hold on.
You heard that? He came with the haymaker.
I'm on tour with Eminem, and John Singleton calls me. That's not no regular shit, Luda. Hold on, slow down.
Yeah.
Come on, way too fast. Say that again. Slow it down. Wait a minute. What?
Crazy.
Say that. What?
I was so busy that I had to record myself on tape backstage 20 minutes before I went on stage. And I remember reading the lines and everything. And then the next day I got the call and I had the part. Now, little did I know until later, he was like, I think Ja Rule was the person he wanted for the role. But Ja Rule, I guess, was either asking for too much money or doing something. And he was like, all right, well, I'm going to go to Luda. So I always say thank Ja for turning that thing, doing whatever he did to to mess up the opportunity because I don't think y'all understand.
Wow, that's crazy.
Take a shot for Ja Rule, Luda. Take a shot for Ja Rule. He's also a Def Jam. You got to take a shot, Luda. You got to take a shot.
Yeah, so look. 2 Fast, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hopefully 10 and 11 will be shit.
Shout out to Rosenberg.
Now, let me ask you something, Luda. There was a discrepancy at one time about Fast and Furious. I believe Tyrese and Rock was going at it. What was that thing about? And what was it? Because The Rock did a spinoff of that. And when he did a spinoff, then y'all guys couldn't continue filming Fast?
Yeah, I think there was a big misconception of things going on. And I think that some people got some premature information, but what you need to understand, they were both under the Universal umbrella. So it's up to Universal to greenlight certain things because they're the ones that's paying hundreds of millions of dollars in order to shoot these movies.
How much, Luda? How much?
Hundreds of millions. So like the budget.
Don't get it twisted with hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions.
Yeah, the average budget for a Fast movie is like $200 million, bro. And up. So whatever was going on between them two, I feel like they may have felt as if it was that they had certain powers on their own, but the realization of it was that Universal is calling the shots because they're the one that's cutting the checks. So I just think it was a misconception, man.
Wow.
Hold on, I want to ask Luda something. This is going back, talking about just straight rhyming and MCing, and you talking about being respected as a lyrical MC. Have you ever felt, and me, I'm talking as a DJ from Miami, early 90s, we was looking for lyricism coming out of Miami and out of the South. We're known for bass music and also, it's just a part of our culture, 100%. Did you ever feel like we don't get respected in the South for lyricism, or we felt short ourselves of it?
Absolutely.
What'd you say, N.O.R.E?
I said, here we go. Listen, EFN, just in case y'all don't know, this guy, when y'all go look up the South, he is there like this. He loves the South, and I respect it. I knew he was going to ask you this. Go ahead.
Yeah, it took a long time for us to get that respect, man. There's history, and there's a whole like list of history there because the bass music, obviously, that was in Miami, and and then
Atlanta too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. Bass music in Atlanta and in Miami and all throughout Florida, Georgia. And then it took for, Outkast kind of on a popular level to really break everyone's stereotype of what could be possible coming from the South.
Yeah.
And then from there on out, humbly speaking, individuals like myself, and we just kept hammering away, man. And next thing you know, we got the respect that we needed.
You know what I want to say? Because a lot of y'all think that from the South, that people in New York didn't respect y'all lyrical content, didn't respect y'all. But the thing is, had we had Twitter back then, y'all would have knew how much we respected y'all. Y'all would have knew how much.
But don't forget, we would travel to New York too, though, brother.
Yeah,
sometimes we would see the lack of the respect sometimes.
But with all due respect, right? You ever heard somebody that says, I traveled to London and, and
no, absolutely.
And then they just base the whole London off of your one-time experience. You can't, that's not the real London. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, we respect the Midwest. It was certain acts, but we had no way of telling you we respected you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys wouldn't go to the venues. You guys would go to the venues that's hot. You understand? You guys would want to go to the tunnel. You guys would want to go to, there's certain things as opposed to the Lyricist Lounge.
But I also think regionally, accents and slang, people didn't think it was lyrical. But like, for example, like I think Trick Daddy's a lyrical ass motherfucker, Like Scarface is one of the best to ever do it.
For instance, 100%. I don't want to be personal, but if you look at all my features in my beginning of the career, it was with David Banner, Juvenile.
We're not talking about you.
I traveled to the South, so I understood. So when people said that New York don't respect it, I was always the example. Like Pharrell is not from New York. That motherfucker's not from New York. And I don't want to say put him under my wing, but, I don't know what to say now.
Well, you help validate them.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So can I go ahead? Go ahead and finish.
No. Because what I'm trying to say is, New York, we respected y'all. It's just that we didn't have the opportunity or the connections to actually tell y'all. Like, we loved Outkast just as much as y'all. We loved UGK just as much as y'all. We loved Scarface just as much as y'all. You know what I mean? It's just that we didn't have the. You know what I mean? We didn't have the means to say, yo. if Scarface dropped the record, to tweet back like, "Nigga, this is crazy, nigga." Like we didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good to know.
we had to actually identify with that. So that's why the internet and this social media is actually a great thing.
And I'm glad he said Scarface, by the way. I'm glad he said Scarface because Scarface was before Outkast, man. Yeah. And he did so much to open that conversation.
Kevin the Dude and all of them, yeah.
So how about this? This is great that we having this.
I love this.
Terrific artists, legendary MCs, both of you guys drop bars. Mm-hmm. You guys are great actors, been in multiple movies. And so, N.O.R.E, you from the East, Luda, you from the South. Let me be the referee from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I saw the East Coast had a stranglehold on the game. I talked about it earlier. Even through the 80s, LL, Rakim, everybody, Run DMC, on and on and on and on. But then the South had their turn and took a stranglehold of the game. Like UGK, Ghetto Boys, Jay Prince was an independent artist.
Suave House, 8-Ball and
Masterpiece, 8-Ball and MJG, Master P, Young Money, not Money, Cash Money. Like all of them came in like the 90s. And once the South got it, it wasn't that New York didn't appreciate it. It was like, damn, they took it from us. Nah. That's what happened. Not like for real. That's what happened. It was like they got hot real fast, and all of a sudden, New York became possessive of the game.
I agree.
That's like my family lives in Georgia. Luda, no, he can't take 5 steps in Georgia without running into somebody from Detroit. Straight, that's a straight fact. You know what I'm saying? We migrated down there. You all know why. And Miami, I was living there when y'all migrated there from New York. Mm-hmm. Pit Puff was living down there. Joe was living down there. Khaled came up. You had #1 records. I seen y'all at the spots. Right. Joe Snow Crab. I had a spot at the Portofino. I was there. I'm trying to tell you. I was in there with Meech and them.
Yeah.
For real.
Big up BMF.
You see what I'm saying?
Taking over Amnesia. Club Amnesia.
Like for real. So New York did appreciate Atlanta in the South. It wasn't like they were like denying their talent. It was just like, damn, they came with so many artists and so much heat and so much style. And like, it was just like overwhelming for the whole game. And that's how they just swung it to the South and kept a stranglehold on it. You guys can argue about for how long. No, I feel like they still got it.
And which had already happened with the West Coast too, mind you.
Yeah, I don't mind. I just feel like that's what hip hop is. Hip hop, everybody deserves a turn. From the Midwest to the South to the East Coast to even overseas, Canada. Let's not forget Canada. Canada is out here. They're not a part of the United States at all, and they out here now. We've got the #1 album. Let's big up to Tory Lanez. Let's big up to Drake. Let's big up to Cardinal Official, who Belly. Let's big up to all these guys. Like hip hop deserves an era everywhere. Yeah. You know why? Because I know this is crazy. This is
well said.
This is going to sound crazy. This is going to sound retarded. When I was coming up, right, I thought I was the only gangster. I swear to God. I didn't think there was another gangster down the block. Like, so when I'm so sorry to say this, but when I used to shoot at people, I thought that was it. I never thought people would shoot at me back. When someone shot at me back, I was like,
"You're the only shooter."
You know who I am.
What are you doing shooting at me?
I didn't realize that there's other people, other places who think they're just as real as me, and I didn't realize that. And that's what music is going through right now. The thing is, everybody deserves their turn. Everybody deserves from Canada to listen. I feel like Vancouver in Canada is about to have a moment. I feel like Augusta, Georgia, not just ATL. well, I feel like it's going to be a whole other movement around in a different part of Georgia that's going to come, and that's going to be the South of Atlanta's competition. I just feel like everybody deserves it because everybody has the same struggle. We have the same story, and it's the same, like,
same passion.
Same passion. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, I love it more now. Not hip hop in general, but what I'm saying is, these young brothers actually don't need a record label at all. They can actually go right to the internet and just. What do you think about that, Luda?
Yeah, you're right, man. Like, it's different when we had a demo tape and we was trying to sell albums out the trunk of our car and shit. Now it's like everybody asks for advice. I'm like, you create your own fan base. It's a lot easier to do that right now. And don't tell me your music is hot. You gotta let me. You have to create a fan base in order for me to believe that your music is hot. It's that simple. So you got to create a movement, man. If you can't sell to the nigga next door to you, how the fuck you think you gonna sell to me?
Right.
I got to ask you guys both a question. Okay. Because, like, founder of a charter high school, I have so many people that want to be like you guys. And they want to be basketball players and athletes as well. And I'll start with you, N.O.R.E, first. No problem. Can you guys please let the world know, and watching The Last Dance with Michael Jordan right now, some of the things you sacrifice and the time and energy that goes into your craft. Like, if you're writing rhymes, if you're thinking through beats, if you're thinking like, please let the world know, like, you don't just wake up in the morning and press out a record and all of a sudden you're number one in the country.
Well, I love to answer this question. A lot of people don't know. My first album came out in 1997. It was called The War Report. And everyone calls it a classic now. Everyone says it deserves 5 mics now. Everyone says how ill it was now. Everyone says, but back then, I'm just being honest, as an underground artist, I couldn't connect to the people. I couldn't understand it. It was a classic. So I was still on the block. I was still doing the same exact thing. It wasn't until I seen a brother named Nelly, and I said the story before, but Nelly had a record called Put It In Your Mouth. I had a record called LA and N.O.R.E. They do not mix together at all. Nelly saw what was in me, and Nelly brought me on tour because I had this album that people are saying, yeah, it's great. The album that people are saying is a classic, but I didn't see the residuals. I didn't see what came from that. So I had to actually go start all over. And the thing about it is, when people want to, really be in this music industry, and they can't separate the streets from what it is. Not only did I stop selling, the things that I was selling prior to that for this, but I had a classic album that people call a classic album now, and I was still in the streets. So I had to just take it all the way. And there was one brother who showed me the world, and it was Nelly. Nelly said, yo, look, bro, LA and N.O.R.E, because you got to remember, I come, like I said, 1997. If you didn't have Video Music Box, if you didn't have
$3 a video,
if you didn't have the video, that's I forget what that is called.
That was the jukebox.
Yeah, the jukebox. If you didn't have that, you didn't know how I looked. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't even getting shows with a quote unquote classic album. It wasn't until N.O.R.E, you know what I mean? Where I went out there and I did a song called I'm Leaving on the Firm album. And again, I've had to fly out to LA, and, Nas and them is the hottest in the world. I can't believe they're going to put me on their group album called The Firm, and I'm leaving a part of the group. And I stood there and I just did it. And it was a record called I'm Leaving. And that's what set off my whole solo career. But for that year and a half up to there, I really stopped doing everything. I dedicated my life and my craft 1,000,000% to this shit. You know what I'm saying? And the shit worked out. I mean, there's a lot of people who probably didn't, but it's a very much sacrifice. You can't have 1 foot in this area and 1 foot in over there. If you're going to really be serious about this, you have to have 2 feet in, your eyes, your eyebrows. You see, I'm Puerto Rican. I got thick eyebrows. So you got to have all that shit in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. So, Luda, I'm going to ask you want to ask the same question to Luda, Jalen?
Yeah, for real, Luda. What about you and your come up, especially being from the South?
Mm-hmm. You talking about, man, I was so intrigued by N.O.R.E.'s answer. I forgot what the hell the original damn question was, right? Bro.
So I'll tell you, it was crazy. So it's like, you have bars. Right. You've done a great job of continuing to not only sell records, but become like an artist that's mainstream. But what ends up happening is so many people want to be like you, they don't know the sacrifices that you made.
Oh, gosh.
And what it takes for you to make a record, and the time, the sacrifices, and like the notes that you take and the beats that you listen to. Like, please give a snapshot of like the energy that it takes to be a professional in your craft.
Yeah, Sacrifice is definitely my middle name, man. If I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Sacrifice. I just posted on my Instagram, and you can go look at it, like all the people that's watching. At Ludacris, I still have my 1993 Acura Legend, bro. I'll never get rid of that.
The gold
shit.
one, right? It's gold?
The gold. So the gold Acura, at a time when that was my tour bus, man. When I was working at the radio station, in order to pay for studio time, in order to pay for mixing and mastering, I would wear pretty much the same clothes every day, or the promotional T-shirts that I got for free working at the radio station. That's what I would wear because I'd be saving all my money to put myself in the studio. I wasn't such a materialistic person. So everything, if you want to be successful, you got to learn how to sacrifice one thing in order to get another.
Preach.
It's that simple, man. I could talk about sacrifice all day. I've sacrificed 10 years of my life. Just put out a platform called Kid Nation, which is basically hip hop music and other genres of music for kids with enriching content, but sounds just as good as some of the shit that we putting out. So go to kidnation.com and follow Kid Nation on IG. So you'll see the fruits of that labor moving forward, because we just launched a video on kidnation.com talking about kids washing their hands with a hook and everything that's catchy.
That's
dope. That's crazy dope.
So, yeah, man. So listen, that sacrifices everything.
Right. That's dope.
Yeah.
because like,
thank you, man.
When you guys get on the elevator, you hear background music. One of the things we do at our school, I'm the founder, tuition-free, open enrollment, public charter. We get 0 state funding for our facilities, 0. Like, I deal with the young people that feel that are underprivileged, that are underserved, the 9th grade through the college graduate. Like that's the young people that I nurture. And one of the things we do in our building, and your song that you just mentioned reminded me of it, is one of the records I play is Nas, I Know I Can.
Oh.
You just reminded me of that. Is that song kind of like that?
Absolutely. So we only have one song up right now because we're doing a soft launch, but it's about hygiene, and it's about, because that's the number one way to fight this virus right now, is by washing your hands the proper way. And then, it's talking about brushing your teeth and just trying to remind our children that that's what's, you have to make sure you keep your hygiene right. But we have way more songs on the way. So again, any subject matter you could possibly think about that we're trying to teach our kids, man, is on the way. So it's revolutionary, bro.
Talk to them, Luda, on one of the songs about using social media to their benefit, not their detriment.
Right. I like that.
Talk to them about that. Because
use social media, don't be used by it.
Yeah, every time you post something that can stop you from getting a scholarship, it can stop you from getting a job, it can stop you from an opportunity. Every time people start taking on social media so young.
I got you, because the second verse of that record that I got with Lil Wayne, no one was able to hear that on the battle, but wait till you hear the second verse.
Yeah.
I'm definitely hitting some of those things, as well as some other controversial topics that will be talked about, I'm sure. So I'll have this record out within a week, and you'll hear it.
Timbaland produced that?
Timbaland produced it, right?
Timbaland, yeah.
That's how. Let's make some noise for that, baby. Yo, but
thank you, sir.
So 2 Chainz, like
bracelets.
Yeah. What you said, Jalen? I'm sorry.
4 bracelets. That's what they say in this song. Detroit and Atlanta has a kinship, guys. We're cousins.
That's right.
We're cousins.
That's right. The struggle is real.
So would you say Luda, like, is that the most successful artist you put on in this game?
Yeah, man. He used to be in the group Players Circle, man.
Yeah.
And man, they music, if you haven't listened to it, you got to go back and listen to it, man. You'll see where it set the stage and the foundation for everything.
Not just Duffel Bag.
Yeah, not just Duffel Bag, but I mean, it's just one of those things where, like you said, N.O.R.E, sometimes when somebody's first album comes out, people don't understand the impact that it really has until later on, and you go back and listen to it. That's how you know certain people are ahead of their time.
Right.
But yeah, man, his success and everything that he's done, I couldn't be more proud, man. And it's like, it's crazy because our birthdays are like one day apart. So in terms of that Virgo stuff, I mean, what more needs to be said? It's just self-explanatory. The sacrifices that we all make, we know how to sacrifice.
Now, what was that moment like? Like, you know, you put him on, like, for lack of a better word or whatever, you know, and then he says, yo, you know what? I want to go do my own thing. Was that something hard for you to do, to let him go and let him do his own thing? Or that was something like, you know what? I understand it because, like we said, we all Virgos. We probably...
No, I understand it, man. I'm one of those people that always want individuals to grow and evolve, man. It's just a product of life. I'm glad when that is, because some people, you know, they just want to stick around. They just want to stick to this regular script and they're comfortable where they at. So, you know, anybody who wants more out of life, I'm always going to support that, man. And that's the original goal. When you're a CEO of something and you have artists, I told L.A. Reid one time, and he said he's never heard any artist ever say this before in his life. I said, I want to sign artists that are going to be bigger than Ludacris has ever been. So that was always my goal. It was never a situation where I was like, I only want to sign artists if they're going to be not as successful as me. So I'm just like, I'm here to support anyone's dreams and anywhere they want to go, shape, form, or fashion. And, you know, I know his family. That's dope. He has a certain place in my heart that'll never go away. So I'm always going to support anything that he does.
God damn it. Great fucking answer, bro. Great fucking answer.
Dope. That's dope.
Damn it. Jalen, one more drink.
Luda, is there any producer that you haven't worked with that you want to work with, or that you wished you were?
I've been around Dr. Dre. You know, I was almost had a beat. I actually worked with him on some of his stuff, but I never had an official Dr. Dre beat that Luda's on. I would love to still explore that. And I would love to get a song with Eminem, which I got to make happen because we still haven't done it. And I was on tour with him. So during that time frame, I remember us, you know, juggling and trying to figure something out, but it just never officially
You
happened.
talking him rhyming and producing, just rhyming, or both?
Oh, I'm not necessarily stuck to one or the other. As long as the shit is hot, I don't give a fuck what the hell is going on.
Because them can produce.
They gotta get on the track. Ooh, that would be nasty.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, this is beautiful talk right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, I have to say this because I think somebody said something about strip clubs or songs earlier. And I talked about the kinship that Detroit and Atlanta has. And Luda can correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I love him. He's a legend. He's a G. He's a multi-millionaire. He's in a mansion right now. Yeah. I just know that on Sunday, what was it? Pink Pony?
Pink Pony. Oh, yeah. Listen, it's so many damn strip clubs. It could have been, I don't know, Jazzy Tees. It could have been Strokers.
Something different every day.
It's every single day, man. And some of them multiple on the same day. So it changes, you know, every now and then sporadically. But for the most part, I wanted to ask y'all something. Magic City should be the most popular strip club in the world. Am I correct by saying that? Or would you say, is there anything?
I mean, other than maybe a little lesser known, but the Rolex in Miami, which is kind of legendary. I don't know.
You got to be ghetto to know the Rolex, though.
It was the hood spot. It was the hood spot.
I know about the
King of Diamonds, though, now.
I know about KOD, too.
Yeah. KOD for sure. But yeah, man.
All married men on here, by the way.
Yeah,
I know, but it's statute of limitations. She know you got to pass.
I was just on with Eminem.
You was in the streets when she
Luda changing the subject.
Yeah.
Well,
Luda remember.
Well, Luda got kids. He like.
we all. This is beautiful. I love to talk just hip hop. I love.
All right,
that's one thing I love about your show, Jalen, is you always incorporate hip hop. Like everything about your thing is hip hop. Is that something is that something you have to run by ESPN, or that's just something that you do it and they have to accept it?
Well, thank you for acknowledging that. So for 9 years, I'll never forget walking into an ESPN studio, and I'm like, I get to do my own thing. And then they showed up the next day. I had Jay with the gold tooth in his mouth and the big rope. I had Bruce Lee. I had the Ali Summit, because across the national landscape, I didn't ask.
Oh, all right.
I didn't ask. I work for Disney. I got a corporate job. And so it's like, yo, I seen other shows, Luda, N.O.R.E, DJ EFN, that had like bobbleheads, that like helmets, that like kind of were culture vultures, in my opinion, but didn't embrace who we were. So like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it correct.
Right.
And if you not hearing what I'm saying, because remember, when you do a television show, I tell this to people that want to get in this industry, half of your audience isn't hearing what you're saying. They're at a bar, they're at a restaurant, they're at an airport. They're just watching the TV. So your visuals matter, what you're wearing. I try to have a fresh cut. Try to have a good background because they're watching it. And so I wanted it to look like us without me saying a word. And I got a lot of pushback from that. I was in Luda's video Move, and I was working for ESPN.
Yeah.
So I never told you this. So I got a couple of emails about that video.
Oh, shit.
You know, so I'm like, this is what we do. This is who we are. Don't just play our songs at the game and in and out of promos. Like, play the video. Yeah, I'm in the video. So, like, I used to fight this. We had Survival of the Fittest, Mobb Deep, for a playoff song for NBA Countdown. And I used to be like, that's going to become like a soundtrack. Like, if you see Draymond Green on the floor, put on They Call Me D-Nice. Like, make it a soundtrack. And I was trying to incorporate this into, like, national media, and it was tough. And so now that it's normal, I'm glad that we can do this right now. N.O.R.E, please have another drink and smoke something. Luda, switch your pick anytime you want. Wear whatever, beater you want, because we here now.
But was that what the Fab Five look was about? Because the Fab Five look, like, that was the first time we got to see hip hop represented.
Yes.
Like a college level,
yes,
and NBA level. Like, y'all had y'all was wearing 3X shorts. Like, y'all was wearing like y'all was looking like the hip hop videos that was relevant at that time, and baggy shorts was it, and y'all was out there with the baggiest of the baggiest.
Damn, the crazy thing is, from the early 90s to 94, I was in college. So then I got a chance to be in the league and have my own money. So I remember not being liked, not being respected, not being appreciated by the mass media, and being treated like I'm a criminal or a drug dealer or a bad person based on my appearance. Like, I was listening to NWA and Compton's Most Wanted, and the media came into the locker room and was like, I'm a thug, I'm a hoodlum. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because I was representing, like, Pac's first album. A lot of people sleep on Pac's first album. It was real political. We was listening to that.
That's his best album.
Yeah, right. So you a DJ?
Strictly for my niggas.
Yeah, the one before that one too. With my homies, and that one, like that was
my homies' car.
Yeah.
Right after he left Digital Underground, as just a dancer. Yeah.
So, like, in sports, it's phony in a lot of ways, because we'll show Luda, we'll show T.I., we'll show N.O.R.E, and we'll show you guys on the front row. But then at the same time, we didn't want to play your music. We didn't want to play your music. We can dog and pony show you, but we want to play we're not going to play your music. But now Luda can go to a game with the Hawks and stand at the half court and be butt naked with a microphone, and they'll beg him to do it. You can go to N.O.R.E, you can go to a Knicks game, they will beg you to bring your podcast to a game. They will beg you.
I don't like that.
It's just different now. That's all. They have to respect us because we got a voice, we got money, and we live in the suburbs too. So they can't dismiss us anymore.
Right. God damn. So Luda, I mean, I gotta ask this biggie question. Did you ever think that hip hop would go this far? Like, you ever thought just loving hip hop. Because at the end of the day, like Jalen, I'm sure you can attest to this, you just loving the game of basketball has brought you to so many remarkable different places. EFN, same thing. But Luda, same thing. It's like, just us loving hip hop, because us loving hip hop is the first love. And then creating hip hop and everything else and the accolades that come after that. You ever thought that hip hop would bring you to the levels? I know you've been all over the goddamn world.
Man, that's a great ass question, because as a hip hop artist, it's like sometimes you're so engulfed in the shit, you haven't even thought that far ahead about where the fuck hip hop is going. When you in it, like when you so much in it, and then it kind of takes for you to get different perspectives and, like you said, start traveling the world. And to answer your question, man, I honestly can say the answer to that question is no. It's not like I had any limited expectations for the shit, but at the same time, when you go to these countries that don't speak English and these motherfuckers are reciting your every word.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's something that nobody in hip hop would ever imagine. Kool Herc would be on this shit and be like, hell no, I didn't know if this would happen. Are you fucking kidding me? So, man, no, but I'm so glad that it did. And I think it's getting to a point where you're going to have certain disgruntled individuals because of how commercialized that it has become and wanting to contain a certain amount of it. And I don't see it slowing down anytime soon, bro. So, but it just depends on what era you were in. But Russell Simmons or somebody always said, if you don't embrace what's new, you'll become your own worst enemy, man. So you got to be careful about, evolution and how things are just moving.
I got to ask you, Luda, like Jalen, there's certain periods and certain times are the greatest. The Bulls, Pacers, there's Detroit, the Bad Boys. I feel like there was one point in time where Def Jam was the most lethalest.
All facts.
Fucking label out there.
When y'all do the new era, I'm going to do the old era.
You correct me if I'm wrong, Luda.
No, you're 100% right, nigga. Jay-Z, DMX, Ludacris.
No, let's talk about the workers first. Let's talk about the people that was behind the scenes. Leo Combs, the staff. Thank you. Yeah. Leo Combs, Julie Greenwald, Mike Kaiser, Randy Acker,
Kevin Lyles.
Who else we talking?
Kevin Lyles.
I said Kevin Lyles. I didn't say Kevin Lyles. I didn't say Kevin Lyles. I said Mike Kaiser. Right? Sean Beckers. Like at one point we had the craziest, and it was like nothing was fucking with Def Jam.
100%. LL Cool J. Like you said,
let's get to the artists. Now let's get to the artists. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Artists.
LL Cool J, Redman, Method Man, Jay-Z, DMX, Ja Rule, N.O.R.E.
Yeah.
Who else am I missing?
Sean.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nigga, it just go get my Def Jam jacket. I ain't got time for y'all. Please continue.
All of the Rough Riders. You got all of DTP. You got all of I watched Entourage over and over and over again. And then I watched Empire. I did not watch Empire. I'm lying. So sorry. I didn't mean it like that. No, I didn't mean it like
Power?
That.
What about Power?
Yeah, but Power is about the streets. There has never been a hip-hop story like Def Jam 170 Varick.
They did like a little documentary, but it wasn't nothing compared to what you talking about and what you want to see.
We have to show, listen, there was a point in Def Jam. You can go to Def Jam, you get your hair cut, you can buy weed, you can roll.
Facts. Yes.
$250,000 a check. At the same time.
Real talk, N.O.R.E. Damn, you made me. I forgot about that, bruh. The haircuts and
you didn't have to go to no hood.
Yes,
you didn't have to go to no hood. You could get drunk. You could get everything right in Def Jam. Right? Like fuck the hood. Like just go to New York and just go there. That's everything. That's it, man.
Gotta love it.
Did y'all have something like that in the NBA where y'all could just it was like the Soho of niggas? Soho house of niggas.
So I want to expand on what you said about Def Jam, by the way.
Okay.
It's somebody that's a couple of years older than you guys.
Okay.
That's been around in the same place at the same time as Russell. Same place and same time as N.O.R.E. That went to the Nitro tour with LL, the Raising Hell tour with Run DMC and the Beastie Boys, and on the cool checking, and Slick Rick sitting in the ruler chair. Like I like Def Jam for me in hip hop. It's a storied franchise. That's what that represents. So like in the NBA, you might have the Lakers or the Celtics or whatever. That's what Def Jam represents in music.
That's very true.
Everybody in one way, shape, or form ended up going through there. Like Scarface ended up being a Def Jam artist.
And the president.
Yeah, correct. Like Scarface, like just so y'all know, like I'm a Scarface stan. Just so y'all know.
All should be.
Right, I'm a Scarface stan. Right. So Scarface was there. When I say that, that's like 100 stars for me. So many people have gone through Def Jam and or their leadership that it's the story brand of hip hop music. Russell Simmons is the holy grail of people that never spoke into a microphone, and you guys can argue with me on this, but I feel like the most influential and the longest. I see N.O.R.E, he getting ready. Look at him.
I'm ready.
The longest served and tenured and most accomplished producer is Andre Young, Dr. Dre. Like, I remember the World Class Wrecking Crew and falling in love with Dr. Dre. I started DJing and scratching in. So, like, he's had so many people from, like, DOC, Above the Law, Eminem, 50 Cent, NWA, Snoop Dogg, like the Dog Pound. So I'll turn it over to you experts, but that's what I feel about that.
What you think, Luda?
Man, again, I was so lost in his explanation. What the fuck was the original question? Nigga, God damn.
Man, we just... I had a good one. Hold on. What the fuck was my shit?
Because we was talking about the artist at Def Jam and we just went somewhere else.
Right. What the original question was about really the greatness of Def Jam.
Yeah.
And the influence of Def Jam.
This is what I feel like, Luda. You know, you being we have to tell that story.
Yeah.
You see Entourage? Entourage
ain't got shit on the Def Jam story.
The real Def Jam story. Like
that's true.
Like, the real behind the scenes of how
Young Jeezy was with Def Jam. I'm looking at a platinum plaque hanging on my wall right now and forgot about him.
I'll tell you something. This is a clip called The Real World, right? And this is when the Real World documentary had first came. And Def Jam flew all of us out there, and they gave us all the drugs in the world. They gave us all the drugs in the world. And in Las Vegas, the Real World.
You left out a couple of ladies. Was Tina involved in this? There were a couple other ladies. Yeah, there were a couple of people that I know.
Not with the drugs, but Tina Davis was involved.
No. We ain't incriminating nobody. We ain't incriminating. Good call, Luda. Good call, Luda. We ain't incriminating nobody.
Def Jam was the ultimate label. They knew how to bail you out. They knew how to do everything. They knew how to do listen. It was it. Luda understands what I'm talking about.
That's so true.
Is it true? But we need not a documentary. Fuck a documentary. We need a reenactment. You gotta make
that happen, bro.
Pecos? Did y'all say Pecos?
Yeah.
Sean Pecos, of course. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
No, Pecos, it's all a part of that little bunch, man. It's all a part of that little bunch, man. So what's your favorite era of hip hop, Luda?
Is that Def Jam era that you was just talking about?
Great fucking answer.
No, that's real shit. I'm just being honest. That goddamn. And like you said, man, the moral to what we talking about today is you honestly don't really realize how special some shit is until way after. Then you see the impact that it had, man. Music, culture, everything, man. Like shit that ages like fine wine, like I was speaking about on that battle. That's what do we get into as we get older? Alcohols, the shit that's get aged for a certain amount of time. The best flowers, the best cigars, where if you put them in a humidor, they dissipate all the bad stuff. And to people that play golf, where you got to take a lifetime in order to damn near become an expert. You start getting into shit that you really love that you can only get better at in your lifetime span. That's what you need to be in the game about.
What's the best era for you for basketball, Jalen?
So that was a great answer, Luda. And I want both of you guys to know, like, there's so many young people that want to be like you and want to do what you do, and you're disciplined, responsible, you're educated, you're both smart. Like, N.O.R.E, you smart. Like, you play the role that I play in this game. I know I'm blowing your cover. It's like, I know you want to play dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know nobody. Like, you ain't been on the stage. Or I know that. You ain't sold nothing. Like, I get it. And the same with you, Luda. And what ends up happening is, like, both of you guys have so many people that you influence and want to be like you guys that the culture follows when you don't even realize. And so there was a time when the South, and we mentioned this earlier, felt underappreciated. But Luda, you got bars, dog.
Thank you, sir.
Like you got like we
was a legend.
And what ends up happening is, don't judge ourselves by like some trolls on social media. And I hate to be this dude. Like, I really hate to be this dude. But like, we got to judge ourselves by the deals that we did and the money that's in our account and where you live and how you eat.
Man, we got to judge ourselves by how many motherfuckers we help. That's really
correct.
Where you judge yourself.
Correct. Yeah.
With everything that you just said, right. With the money that we've made and the places we live. Is who we affect from that. That's how you judge yourself.
Right. Like, where Luda shooting for right now, he trying to tone it down. He was like, I'm going to go into the worst room in this space because I want to be low key. But like, dog, I know.
That's hilarious.
Like N.O.R.E got his records back there, but he don't really have his stuff back there. You know what I'm saying? And so like you guys are role models too. And I just gotta keep stressing that point that so many people want to be like you guys. Like, you black and brown, you smart, you're entrepreneurs, you're leaders, you're well-spoken, you're disciplined, you work hard. That I just gotta make sure that I always stress those traits about you guys. Because sometimes, most of the time, people underestimate that about you.
Hey man, we greatly appreciate that, my brother. And
they underestimate that about you. They underestimate it.
I love these conversations. We got to have more of these, man. This shit is amazing. Yeah.
We heard a snippet of the Lil Wayne Timberland. We heard a snippet, right?
Yep.
$1 million question is, what label is this coming out on?
So want to get to the money.
Yeah, I'm in the midst of doing something pretty, monumental, but I'm not able to really speak on it right now. But to answer your question, this particular song will probably just come out before this monumental thing happens. So it'll be right in line with me putting this out for the people, just to give them something before I embark on moving forward with more music on another platform. That's the best way that I can kind of say it without being, specific at this particular moment.
You disagree with me. So this is what this said to my mind. This single might come out on Empire, but then another thing coming out on something totally big.
Get your hand out my pocket.
Man. Yeah,
registered to me. You don't have to confirm or deny.
Right. I'm not confirming where it's coming out, but it'll definitely be. I have to hurry up and rush it out to the people at this point, because that wasn't even supposed to happen. So Timberland is on my neck. Like, we have to get these songs out immediately. Wow. So to answer your question, I'm still trying to really figure it all the way out. But within the next 7 days, we will have it figured out.
All right, and another thing, I seen you on the gram with LL, and you played what was you play the unreleased Fatty Girl verse?
Bro,
I thought I heard
Pharrell, you got to hit Pharrell, man. I don't know if he saw that, but Pharrell produced the original beat, and he sampled Fat Albert. And at the beginning, dun, nah, 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 gonna have a good time. Hey, hey, hey. Doom, doom, doom. So this nigga LL, it was just me and LL on the original version. LL had 2 verses. And so this was over 15 years ago, bro. So I'm sitting here like LL is the person who made me want to rap when I was in the 4th grade. Wow. And I knew every word to I'm Bad. So
take a muscle ball, man, and put his face in the sand. I did that in the talent show.
Exactly. So check this out. The crazy shit is I had to get all these old songs because I didn't know what I was going to play in this battle. And obviously, again, I had so many more songs than 20. I just had this on the back burner. And when I went live with LL, I was like, you know what'll fuck LL up right now? If I play this shit, I guarantee he don't remember these verses from over 15 years ago because the sample never got cleared. And nigga, N.O.R.E knows LL. He's not the easiest motherfucker to get to smile just one-on-one. Like, you know, he will keep a brick wall up if you don't trust nobody. If you go back and look at my Instagram at Ludacris and you see that nigga was like a little kid when I played them 2 verses, man. For me to be able to do that for a person that made me want to rap, I don't think anybody will understand what that meant to me as a moment in time for hip-hop. Period.
Well, in case y'all don't know, what Drink Champs is about saluting our people, the longevity that we have. And every other culture, I feel like, you know, in 10 years, you become seasoned. I feel like in our culture, when you have 10 years or 12 years or 15 years or more, the people want to say you're washed up. I wanted to change that narrative. I wanted to, you know, dig into our people and say that, you know, we legends. You know what I mean? And I want both of y'all to understand that we are legends, man. And
you are to us too, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and what we did, collective. Hey, let me get some. Hold on. Let me finish this.
Shit, Banned from TV, my favorite, nigga. I'm still listening to that shit, man.
No doubt. War Report too.
Wait, Jalen. What you drinking, Jalen? What is that? Look, it's special.
So Luda, you appreciate this as well as N.O.R.E. I can show this because I can act like it's sports and ESPN been talking about The Last Dance. So I can say, hey, I'm drinking this because we're showing a lot of Michael Jordan.
Oh, that's Michael Jordan tequila. Okay.
That's dope.
Yo, Luda, you got to ask Jalen. You watched The Last Dance. You got to ask Jalen a question about The Last Dance.
Man, listen, I did, bro. And I listen, people wonder why I wear Jordans all the goddamn time, man. I'm such a Jordan fan, not only of the shoes, but I'm so glad people got to see that Last Dance because of what he stood for, how competitive he was, how he would stop at no cost, how this nigga was finding shit to be mad at to drive him in order to
Let's be clear, Luda. You was happy when he shut down Jalen and Reggie Miller. Let's just throw it out there. Let's throw it out there.
Yes.
You was happy?
Yes. Because you got to go to the extreme. You got to go to the extreme in order for it to be an interesting story, man. And it was such an interesting story. So I do have a question for Jalen. The rumors that you may have heard about how there were times where this nigga might smoke 2 or 3 cigars before he went out and played motherfucking full game of basketball.
Disrespectful.
What the? Like, how many cigars did a nigga really smoke? Did he like take a puff or 2 of it and then put it out?
So, oh my goodness. I love our culture so much. So like, thank you very much for asking me that question. Because
thank N.O.R.E because he forced me to ask you a question about
that. So here's the thing. People underestimate the fact that as artists, you have things that make you get into the mode to be creative. Whatever it is. It can be somebody rubbing your toes. It can be you smoking. It can be you sleeping. It can be you drinking. It can be whatever. And one of the most discouraging things that I saw in the documentary, MJ was smoking, drinking and had a pot belly and beat us. For real, fam. Like, I didn't realize, like, y'all know, social media wasn't like that in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had voicemails, we had answer machines. Like, it wasn't like that. So I'm thinking that MJ eating lemons and drinking celery juice and going home and beating us. Now I'm watching this, I'm like, he's smoking cigars on game day, got a pot belly, and he beat us? Like, dog, I'm disappointed. Bro. I'm disappointed in that.
I just didn't know how many fucking cigars that nigga would sometimes smoke. Because I'm sure after the game, if he won, the nigga went right back to smoking more goddamn
You
cigars.
never seen him, Luda, without a drink or a cigar.
Yes,
in the whole
till this day. That's how he is right now.
He produced it. So that
nigga, this is how he is right now. He smoked like 5 cigars a day, nigga, and golf all day. Come on, bro. It's a different world, bro. That he's an alien, man. He's a fucking alien. He is not from this world at all. Never has been. Hey, man, I love you motherfuckers, but are y'all hungry, man? I got to eat some fucking food in a minute. Are y'all going to pass me a plate in this bitch, or is there going to be a part 2? Is there a part 2?
You're the only one that own like 5 restaurants.
Chicken and beer, right? Hold on. You still got chicken and beer?
Yeah.
Chicken and beer is in the restaurant. I mean, in the airport, the Atlanta airport. Yeah.
Dude, I just ate there. I be eating there all the time. Going from Detroit to Atlanta, I always go support.
How rich you got to be?
I bought food for like 10 people.
How rich you got to be, Luda, to have a
spot? Oh no, it's not. It's not about how rich you got to be. It's just, with the airport situation, they have people that they come together and there's a bid, and basically you have to win the bid in the whole concourse. And that's basically, it's like a bunch of business partners, and then they kind of have a raffle and things of that nature. So that's what it is. It's really just about, kind of lucking up and having the right individuals around you and making sure that you are 100% when it comes to all of the rules and regulations and everything that needs to be done. So that's God right there, man.
Hey, N.O.R.E,
yeah.
Can I go Sanford and Son on you? Like when Smitty and Hoppy come to the house and they translate what they're saying. Basically, Luda had more money and bid higher than everybody in that side of the concourse to make sure that he got his restaurant in there. That's kind of what I heard.
Hilarious.
That's kind of what I heard.
Now, this is the last 2 questions, and we're gonna get up out of here. So, how is it being? Are you in Georgia, or you don't have to tell me if?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. By the way, when I do come to Drink Champs, you better believe I'm about to eat a motherfucking feast, because I know damn.
We got you.
I got it. Good.
But
yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
How is it being like the first couple of states that's opened up? Have you been out, or you been staying home?
I have not, man. I don't agree with them opening up early. I feel like the numbers are still going up. And, I think we in a time right now where we really, have to identify the leaders from the followers, and people need to step up. And, the leaders are all saying it's except for one particular leader. And then it makes you question why exactly he's telling certain people.
Well, you talking about our commander in tweets? Yeah, please continue.
Well, that's only one of the people. Yeah, that's only one of them. But yeah, man, I would recommend we don't go out. Definitely. We trying to stay safe, man, and healthy, and continue to. That's why I said kidnation.com, man. We gotta plant the seeds of the future and make them think along different lines than some of us do in our adult stage. Period.
Yeah, the same thing, man. I feel like Luda, and I appreciate both of you gentlemen that are really intelligent, and you're socially and politically conscious, and you put on for the culture. Like, this isn't a time for Black and brown people to rush and start slapping high fives, hugging one another,
right,
and acting like that we have a cure or a vaccine to the coronavirus, because we don't.
Right.
And a lot of cities are going to open early, and that's because that they understand the commerce that comes with that. But we have to stay safe because, like Luda was just, basically alluding to, they put us in a 400-year trail position. So we like in close proximity with one another. So when you hear like social distancing, like we don't have the money or the space to like get further from each other and be 6 feet in the market and at FedEx or UPS at the barber shop or that type of thing. So I just hope that small businesses and Black and brown people are able to maintain themselves and stay healthy during this period of time. But like Luda said, this ain't the time yet. Like we need like another couple of weeks, another month to really acknowledge what's happening in our country.
Real talk.
What you said, Luda?
Real talk. He said it.
Talk, man. Yo, I'm be honest, man. Drink Champs, I don't know if you guys know, we started this 4 years ago, and our whole thing is about giving people their flowers now. Everybody always want to show you love when a person pass away or die, and we are greats while we are alive. And that's the reason why I started Drink Champs, because it doesn't take me anything to say that Jalen Rose, you're a great motherfucking Luda, you motherfucking great. It doesn't take anything away from me. I'm a man's man. And I love to give people their flowers now. And that's the reason why I started Drink Champs. The reason why EFN, hopefully his internet was fucked up, but I'm holding him down. That's my brother. And this is the reason why, it's to show you people how much we love you guys.
Hey man, let me just say this then. While you on that subject, bro, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this in this particular way, but as a student of hip hop, as a person who loved hip hop, as you being one of the individuals that came before me, what I can say about you in a world where rap, and it's a lot of motherfuckers that sound very similar and sound very alike, there's one thing that can never be said about N.O.R.E when it comes to getting on a track. You're going to do something and find a cadence in a beat that absolutely no one on this motherfucking earth would ever remotely think about doing it the way that you do it. So Pharrell would give you certain beats, and like as rappers, sometimes we try to figure out how we gonna get on a track, how we gonna ride that motherfucker, how we gonna do certain things. And you hear N.O.R.E get on the track, you be like, how in the fuck? This nigga, dude, like how did he think to get on the track in this particular way? You are unique in the sense of you got that, bruh. I'm giving you that. I'm telling you right now, not one person on this earth would be able to step on a fucking song the way that you do. And that's what makes you stand out as the individual that you are, bruh. Period.
That's dope.
Thank you, Luda.
That's dope. And as somebody that was living in Miami in the late 90s, and somebody that was so very blessed and fortunate to spend time with Luda, and he was gracious enough to put me in one of his videos, I can't lie. Like the War Report, the N.O.R.E, the cadence, and the Luda cadence reminded me of one another. Yeah. So like for me to be on with both of you guys, like I'm nobody special. It's just like crazy to me. So congratulations, and I appreciate y'all having me on.
Hey, we love it, man. We love both of your brothers, man. Thank you for taking the time out for messing with Drink Champs, because Drink Champs, that's what it's about. It's about giving people their flowers where they can smell.
How many cups is that? That's only three? Is that three?
I'm on my third bottle. I know everyone is saying it now, but we did this 4 years ago because I realized that me bigging up my brothers doesn't take nothing away from me. I love hip hop. I remember, Luda, do you remember the diary? We did a diary.
Yes,
your first
I do.
Diary.
MTV Diary. I do remember that.
Remember that? You listen. Let me just tell you something. I'm on Def Jam. I'm messing around. Luda got, I think, the #1 record at the time.
Yeah.
Luda's, we all on a Def Jam tour. So Luda's going to each different room. And listen, you tell me if I'm lying. You stop me if I'm lying at one point. And at the time, a lot of people from New York was migrating to Atlanta, and it was a great thing. It was a super great thing. But there was one dude that was there, and he said, these motherfuckers come out here from Queens, they don't show nobody love. And I said, I'm going to show you some love, nigga. Oh, shit. Body slammed this nigga all over the room. Mind you, Luda told me he coming. But I didn't know that the moment that Luda come in my room, I'm gonna be body slamming a nigga from Queens.
Yeah.
And I'm not lying.
That shit is hilarious, bro. I remember that shit. Yes. All up against the wall and everything, bro. That shit's crazy. Crazy. I love it, bro.
Yo, nah, man. I love you too, Luda, man. Yo, Jalen Rose, man. I love both of you.
Family.
Brothers,
I love both of y'all, man.
Yo, man, thank you so much, man. Both of you brothers, man. Luda, man, congratulations. Jada, congratulations. Keep doing everything we doing, man. And man, I can't be, I'm so thankful, man. You know what I mean?
Man,
Salute.
we thankful for you. Salute.
Salute, man.
Salute.
Yes.
Love, Jalen. Yeah, man.
Family. I'll see both of y'all soon. I appreciate the love.
Absolutely. Thank you, brothers, both, man.
This shit has been historic. God damn it.
This story.
Yeah.
Thank you.